And they weren't the only ones. Sony showed up, and I don't want. We don't have to spend too much time on this, Brett. But a
Let's
couple other
not.
things got announced, which was Venom 3, which was probably kind of a no-brainer. Ghostbusters
Was it?
4,
That
which
second
I'm
film was
excited.
not good.
What? Venom?
That Venom 2 was not
Oh,
good.
see, and that's such a shame. I had high hopes for that.
I mean, like the
I
first one wasn't really good either, but like it had something. There was
it
something
had
about the
something.
tone. It
It
was
had
fun.
something.
Like the second one is like was a rush job, and it just did not utilize Woody Harrelson to his
Yeah.
full effect,
Ugh,
and
such a bummer
it
to hear.
was not as cool as the first one. But hey, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? We're getting a
Well,
third one.
and meanwhile, at the end of that, the big thing everyone was talking about was the post-credit sequence that seems to bring that Venom into the MCU. And then at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, they're like, yeah, that was just for fun. He's going
Yeah,
back to his own world
nah,
again. So never mind. There's a completely different symbiote in the MCU now, and we'll decide if
yeah,
we ever want to do anything with that. But in the meantime, here's Venom 3, and here's Craven, and here's Madam Web, and
yeah.
here's El Muerto. Did you
Oh
hear about
yes,
this one, Brett?
yeah, yeah.
Reggaeton singer Bad Bunny is going to star in El Muerto. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know
When
that.
when does Sony plan on unveiling some sort of Spider-Man in their Spider-Man universe? That to me would make a lot of these announcements easier to take.
When do they
Because
plan on making a good movie? Because
all that too.
I don't even like. Hey, listen, the no Spider-Man thing is definitely a huge issue. Like, it kind of is weird to have all these people with no Spider. Like, who is Craven hunting? Like, the whole point of him
Yeah,
being a villain is that like he gets bored with
yeah,
hunting animals. He
yeah,
big game. He wants to hunt the biggest game of all, Spider-Man.
yeah.
So it makes no sense. But like Morbius just tanked critically and commercially.
Yep.
Um, Venom 1 and 2, I don't think were like massive successes. I think
I
they
mean,
were okay. I,
one didn't
one
cost
was
a lot, and it made almost 900 million, like close to
I
$1 billion.
don't
It
know
was a
how
huge.
2 did. I'd have to double check. I
I'm
don't
not
think it
sure.
did as well.
No.
I mean, listen, it's enough to give it a third one, I guess. But you have Tom Hardy like behind it, so
Yeah.
you get a little more. You can get away with a little bit more with that. But then
Yeah.
like Craven hasn't come out yet. I mean, like hopefully that one like I think has a little bit of good buzz. I've been reading like some things. They've been working on that one for a while, so maybe they want to get that one right. But like if if that comes out, is that the next one on the books? Is it Craven
Oh, I'm not
to come
even
out?
following. I can't care.
I think it might be.
I
If that
can't.
one comes out and like bombs,
Yeah.
like,
What are
are
we
you
doing?
really gonna do Madam Web and El Muerto?
Yeah.
Really gonna do
Listen,
that?
to me, like the reason I brought up Spider-Man is like I would be able to understand these projects if I knew that they existed in some sort of thing where eventually this cross paths with Spider-Man, or I know
Right.
he's going to deal with El Muerto, so maybe let me see what El Muerto is all about. And same, like with the absence of a Spider-Man just makes all of these projects seem like, why are we doing this? To me,
Yeah.
that's the main thing. And you're right. They should be focusing on making good movies and not even worrying about Spider-Man just yet. But for me, it's like, unless you've established what the overall tapestry we're building here is and where Superman lies, Superman, see, he's always on the mind,
Yeah.
where Spider-Man plays into all this, then stop announcing these movies until we know what the hell's going on here, because it makes no sense to me.
It's insane.
Um, but just real quick, I did finally see Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh, very good.
So yeah, so the green light for Ghostbusters 4 puts a smile on my face, and I hope that what's his face comes back, Jason Reitman. Um,
Yeah.
that would be naturally the best way to go with
I
it.
liked Afterlife a lot. By all, it's supposed to be I think I understand a sequel coming off Afterlife. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think they set up something cool. We got to say kind of goodbye to the OG crew. Well, not necessarily. Also, actually, fun thing I should piggyback this
Yeah.
really quick. They did announce a few new Ghostbuster games
Okay.
recently. There's a VR game, and then there's like another one that's going to be coming to consoles. I think it's like a multiplayer co-op thing. But if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mistaken, I think they got Ernie Hudson and Dan Aykroyd to
Mm.
reprise their roles in the game and do some voice work. And Ernie Hudson is now like has like restarted Ghostbusters, and he's like training and getting like new like that's the point. Like the premise for
Oh,
the
yeah.
game
I
is
mean,
like you
that
get to
makes
create your
sense.
own character, and he's
Yeah,
like started the Ghostbusters back up, and he's like training all the new people.
that makes
So
a lot of sense.
that could be cool. Maybe Ghostbusters 4 does now is like they do try to bring that back, and I mean, granted, it depends. I guess when they get that movie going, a lot of the kids were kind of younger. I mean, what's his name? Finn Wolfhard. He's got to be like 13, 14, 15 now. So like in a couple years, it'll be 18 maybe. But
It's
like,
got to be like 37. What are you talking about? I mean,
he's
I'm gonna
37.
look that up. He's older than me now.
No, he's probably
Um,
like he's probably older than he played in the movie, but he's probably like 19 now, right? 18,
Finn
19.
Wolfhard at the tone will be 19 years old, so he's an old man.
All right, so he's going to be in his 20s by the
Yeah,
time they make
yeah,
this
it'll be
movie.
fine.
So, but I mean, like the other kids in that movie were had to be younger for sure, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know
Well,
if like you go, are they the new ones? I mean, we could have Paul Rudd again. I want Paul Rudd in a
see,
Ghostbuster suit with a
that's
proton pack.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was getting at because when I said this all makes sense about the Ernie Hudson training a new generation.
Yeah.
Remember, at the end of Afterlife, we see that he opens up the doors to the old firehouse and seems
Right.
to want to like dust it off and bring it back to its former glory.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're following up on that. And it got me thinking for a sequel, it'd be interesting since they've already introduced Paul Rudd as someone who's a big fanboy of the Ghostbusters, and he is a scientist of sorts, and he now has experience in this world. It'd be cool if they introduce a new team of Ghostbusters, and Rudd is one of them. You know,
Right.
I mean, it would mean that he had to leave. What's Egon's daughter in the country? Because remember, Paul Rudd and the daughter seem to strike up a romance. If he moves to New York City to become a Ghostbuster, I don't know how that romance goes. But
Right.
or maybe they all
Maybe
move
she
to the
comes along
city.
with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But I feel like having Paul Rudd and a couple of other great, hopefully comedic, because that's the thing about Ghostbusters too. Yeah, it's about ghost busting, but what made those first two movies funny was the humor. They were hilarious, and it was
Do you
it was
remember
what?
I, I don't know if it was a rumor from a long time ago or if it was just like fan casting, but there was a rumor at one point. It was around like before or
Yes,
just before they ended up making the female
I think I know
Ghostbusters.
where you're going with
There was
this. Yeah,
supposed to be like I think it was going to be like Bill Hader, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, and like somebody else, and I was like,
I believe you're right.
I think that was a hit right there, man. Make that movie. I don't know. I mean,
Sold.
I don't know if like a lot of them still have the same panache. Like I'm a little over Seth Rogen. I always love Paul Rudd though, and I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of Bill Hader, and he's still
yeah.
got it going on. So I don't know.
Imagine Bill Hader as almost
Will
like
Ferrell
the.
actually, I think, was the other one. Yeah,
Oh wow. Yeah.
but
See, there's a lot of
he's been
ways to
making
go with it.
stinkers. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,